What's up, everyone? This is Pooka, and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This is from one of my weekly streams. We do stream on twitch.tv/thetopcut. The link is in the description. We stream every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, Monday is Bad Deck Monday, and Thursday is where we play more of the metagame, quote-unquote, top-tier decks. And this game I'm going to be using a deck that a lot of people have requested to see more of, and that is the Tool Drop deck that revolves around Trubbish. So we're going to be trying this deck out here, and we'll see if it works. Going up against a player named Nick Campbell. He is actually a pretty good player, good guy as well. I actually lost to him at the first round of these past World Championships, so he's a very good player. And we'll see if this can be a good game. Looks like he is using a Hydreigon deck. As we can see, the Dino is active for him. So, if you didn't catch the last video, or if you don't know what the Trubbish deck does, it revolves around Trubbish's attack, Tool Drop, which does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon tools in play. The only reason you can get so many tools in play is because of Sigilif's ability, Toolbox, which allows you to attach up to 4 Pokemon tools to the Sigilif. So normally you are limited to a single tool on a Pokemon, but that is not the case here. We can put 4 onto Sigilif, which is pretty sweet. Now it looks like he got Tails on the Deep Growl for Dino's attack there, which means I will not be paralyzed, and that means I'll be able to use Tool Drop this turn. So right now I have 5 Pokemon tools in play, and you can see just turn 2, even after he used a Tool Scrapper to discard 2 of my EXP share, I was able to Tool Drop for 100 damage on the second turn with a Trubbish. This is kind of silly. It's a 70 HP Pokemon, just a basic. Normally you'd think, well, Trubbish evolves into Garbodor, or Garbodor, however you want to say it. But normally you just use them to evolve and then use Garbotoxin to shut off abilities. But no, in this deck it's actually used to attack. And we have done that. We've put a lot of pressure on my opponent to start here with a knockout on the first Dino. Now this could turn around at any moment. Darkrai Hydreigon is a deck that is very good at making comebacks, but it's also very vulnerable to decks that can knock its Pokemon out in one hit. And strangely enough, Trubbish is one of those decks. I don't know what we should actually call this deck. I've heard all sorts of names. I can say Trubbish, Tool Drop. I've heard Tool Time, Toolbox. I just say Tool Drop mainly because it's the name of the attack. Well, I don't know. You guys can decide for yourselves whatever you want to call it. So here is an Ultra Ball. For a Darkrai EX, and also a Skyla for a Dark Patch, it would seem. So it looks like that Darkrai is getting powered up, and then he'll go ahead and use my own Tropical Beach against me. That dirty rascal. No, that's... Tropical Beach is a stadium card that both players can use. Draw until you have 7, and then your turn ends. I decided to put it out there in case I got a bad hand at some point. But, here I have a painful decision to make. I decide to use a Professor Juniper. I decide, look, I need a Trubbish this turn, or else I'm going to be in trouble. Alright, I need a second Trubbish, because if I knock out the active Dino, then a Darkrai comes up and Night Spears and knocks out my Trubbish. And that's not good, because, well, first of all, I mean it knocks out Trubbish, does 32 bench Pokemon, but it means I don't have a Trubbish to follow up for the next turn. The big weakness of Trubbish is that it takes a Psychic and a Colorless Energy, which means 2 energy attachments. So you cannot just kind of drop one out of nowhere. Unless you play cards like Team Plasma Badge and Chorus Machine for some sort of energy acceleration, but I think you'll probably find that there's just no space to play all these cards in this deck. Especially when you have to run a bazillion tools just to use Tool Drop effectively. So I am in a bad position here. Now I'm going to go ahead and retreat my Trubbish and just kind of hope that my opponent does not have. Well, if I were to attack, all my opponent would need is a Darkness energy, or any energy actually, to knock me out with Night Spear. So I'm going to retreat my Trubbish and then just use Tropical Beach, try to set up a little more. Now he's going to need an energy for the Darkrai, and then a way to retreat his active Pokemon, and also a Pokemon catcher. So that requires him to have 3 cards instead of 1 to knock out my Trubbish. So I'm just trying to make it as difficult as possible. But it looks like by what he's done here, well, he's at least going to be able to Night Spear me this turn, which is bad. Because he's promoting this Darkrai, I assume he can Night Spear, and yes, there is Rare Candy, Hydreigon. Now he can use Dark Trance, move the energy up to Darkrai, and oh man, he has it all. He's got the catcher as well. So now we're in this uncomfortable position where the Tool Drop deck finds itself quite frequently, which is why I believe this is not anywhere near a top tier deck. So I'm going to lose all of my energy in play, and I have no way of recovering, right? So what's going to happen is I'm pretty much going to bench a Trubbish and attach an energy, and then it can probably just get catchered again and knocked out, and I'm just going to get knocked out over and over and over, and I may not even be able to attack again. So that is the problem here. I can maybe alleviate some of that with things like EXP Share, which I've used 3 of already. But EXP Share is a way to maybe get 2 Trubbish in play. It might work. That way if he catches 1 and knocks it out, then I'm fine. But it looks like I'm just going to get a level ball off of this N. You can see I have 4 Trubbish in there. We're going to go ahead and grab Trubbish and probably put it down with a Psychic Energy. And I'm actually going to retreat to Surskit because it already has 30 damage on it, and it will be knocked out by Night Spear regardless. Alright, so that's why I'm putting up Surskit here. I might as well have Surskit take the 90 and then something else take 30. Of course, it could be another disastrous turn if my opponent does catcher Trubbish. So this turn I'm saying, please no Pokemon catcher. Please no Pokemon catcher. Please no Pokemon catcher. Because if he has a Pokemon catcher, he knocks out Trubbish with the 90 damage from Night Spear, and then Surskit gets knocked out by the 30 from Night Spear. A 2-prize turn, and I lose my energy on Trubbish once again. So we see that Professor Juniper, odds are he has a Pokemon catcher. And if that's the case, I might just be too far behind in this game to make any sort of a comeback. But he hasn't played one yet, so maybe there's a possibility he doesn't have it. That certainly is a possibility. We do see an Ultra Ball for a Hydreigon there. So we may be getting a second one of those into play. Which, does kind of make a difference. At this point, he's got so much energy on his Darkrai that knocking out his Hydreigon would not be a particularly good strategy. Because, well, he's already got the energy on his Darkrai. So my strategy here at this point, if I can ever start to attack again, is to knock out just the things that have the energy, and perhaps he may not be able to attack me the rest of the game. If I can knock out 2 Darkrai's back to back, maybe I'll have a good shot of winning. But that seems like a stretch at this point. But we do see a Night Spear on the active Surskit, so there was no Pokemon catcher. That means we have some hope. Alright, we don't have a whole lot of hope, but it's better than what we had before, which was pretty much no hope. Alright, so we're going to promote this Sigilyph that has the Float Stone, since it does have a free retreat cost. I'll go ahead and put a Silver Bangle onto probably Trubbish, since I'll pretty much be guaranteed to get a knockout then. I do have quite a few Pokemon tools in play. And I have an N as well. I'm really hoping for another Trubbish and an EXP share. And I kind of got it. So I've decided to bench the Surskit. I don't know if I actually should have done that at this point. I may have just been better off accepting the fact that I'll never get Masquerain in play. Of course, Masquerain does have Tool Reversal, which can pick up tools off your Pokemon and lets you rearrange them so you put the right ones in the right spot. But I'm just kind of going all in at this point. I'm saying, you know what? Let's just do it. Tool Drop. knock out this Darkrai for 230 damage. That was 250 minus 20 for resistance. But I put the EXP share on the bench Trubbish, basically saying, alright, this is the only thing I could do to give myself a chance, because my active Trubbish most likely will be knocked out. Just needs an energy and he can Night Spear. So I wouldn't have a Trubbish to follow up with another tool drop. But now I have the EXP share down, so if he knocks out the active Trubbish, I can then activate EXP share, get an energy onto this Trubbish, and then all I need is one Psychic Energy to tool drop for the knockout. And I do have enough tools in play to do that. I have what seems like an infinite number of tools in play. Looks like I have 9. I'll actually need one more after this goes down. Fortunately, I did get a supporter off my prizes. Not just one, but 2 supporters. All I really wanted was energy. And looks like I'm going to get it here. Well, I don't know if I've gotten it yet, but at least I have supporters to give myself a good chance. I'm very optimistic at this point. Now he's left with just that one Darkrai EX. And nothing else, really. So we can go for it here. I have a Professor Juniper and a very small deck. 12 cards, and yes, we got the energy, and looks like we're going to be taking a very big lead in this game, if not just wrapping it up completely. Going to Level Ball for the Masquerain. The cool thing about this deck, everything is 90 HP or under, so Level Ball allows you to search for every Pokemon in the deck, which is awesome. And look, we're just going to put an EXP share on this Trubbish on the bench in case some fluke happens. We're just going to spread around some tools. I even have Sigilift powered up if somehow I can take a last prize with that if it comes to that. We're going to put the Silver Bangle on the active and tool drop for 250. Take that, Darkrai. Trubbish's revenge. This is getting ridiculous how much damage we're actually doing this game. I hit the last Darkrai for 230, this one for 250, and my opponent says GG, and it looks like Trubbish is going to take this one. I'm just going to go ahead and attach the rest of my tools to see what silly amount of damage I am doing, and we're going to close the game out with a tool drop for 280 damage from a Trubbish. Alright, well, that should show you why this deck is so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am Pooka from the Top Cut. I'll have some more videos for you guys soon, and I'll see you guys next time.